bow, bow, bow.
Wow. I have one.
Oh, you have one.
Yeah.
You have what?
Is that
You
like
have
one nut?
No, I have one
Oh, hold
story.
on. Stop. You know what? It's dudes like us. It's the second half, and I got a story about Preston, my son. He said he's got one.
One
So
nut.
we have to
All right,
guess.
so we're-
hold on. We have to guess what that
Well, he
one
said
is.
He said two, but listen. Here's the thing.
I was not in college.
We're
by
all
the way.
sitting at the table.
Yes.
We're eating,
Oh, okay.
and
Young me.
there's a guy that's sitting there, or a guy that I work with. He was like, "How many kids you gonna have? How many kids you gonna have? How many kids you gonna have?" Preston goes, "I'm gonna have two," and we're like, "That's very specific." So two. Why are you gonna have two kids? Well, because I have two eggs.
Oh no! So when did you transition?
Well, I felt my things down there, and I felt two particular things. And I knew
Can we
humans
just cut you off now.
humans
I
came
mean-
from a different source. So I was like, oh,
Did they not
why
teach
am
you
I-
this in high school?
I was like, I think I was actually,
high school.
I think I was like 9.
It was like redtube.com taught him that.
So you sent something.
Oh,
You sent an Instagram of a couple that both transitioned.
Oh, yeah.
That was the most.
Oh,
I
that's
literally.
ridiculous.
It was like doing a math problem.
I know. Let me see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
can
I'll
you
read
you
it.
need to read it to us because I literally was trying to digest the complexity, and you'll understand when you read it. But I was trying to digest the complexity of how that works, and it was literally like
Well, you have to think about all of these things
Yes.
in the world that we live in now.
yes,
That's what it is.
yes. Do you have it?
Yes, I have it.
All right. read
So
it.
it says transgender man gives birth to non-binary partner's baby with female sperm donor.
Wow.
you almost need a flow
Yeah,
chart.
let's
I
break
know.
it down. Let's break it down because I did, and I literally Shelly and I were breaking it down one
Right.
piece at a time. All right, so transgender woman
No,
gives birth.
transgender man.
Gives birth. Let's stop there. So that is a
Woman.
woman that has eggs, obviously,
Correct.
and she has transitioned to be a man. All right, that one's easy.
Correct.
That one's easy.
Gives birth to non-binary partner's baby.
Non-binary means
Is
I'm not
either
male
girl
or female. I'm
Correct.
fluid. I can be anything I want.
Correct.
Gives birth to their baby.
Right. With female sperm donor.
Okay, that part is what messed me up.
yeah, because that's not right. Because he
Should be-
identifies as
should
a
be
female.
Should be trans woman.
Well, he evidently, or it, no, fuck that. He identified as a female, I guess, during the action.
So here's
Of
what I
coitus,
I guess.
came up with. It is basically a couple where both transitioned.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
the woman became a man, the man became a woman. Now I don't know if physically they changed themselves, right, to where he converted his penis to a vagina and she created a penis out of her, whatever, however they do that.
Well, they just blow it inside out. And they
Yeah,
just
right,
come-
right. That's what I figured they do.
Well, there's the picture of them.
Right. Oh, it's clearly a man and a woman,
Yeah.
although they don't identify like
Well, I
that.
think the short one is the woman.
No, short one's the man.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Taller-
clearly the
taller
short one's the
person
man.
The
is
short one's
definitely a
the
woman.
trans man.
You can
All right.
see
So
that.
anyway,
Jesus.
so if they couldn't do it physically,
Because that's fake beard.
if they couldn't do it physically because they had themselves altered, then that means that they took her sperm. He's a
Our
guy
producer
though.
just
He's a
summed it
man.
up.
He's a man. They took
right.
his sperm and they did in vitro.
Right.
Was that what happened?
I don't
Our
know.
producer has summed it up and put it on the screen for you.
Two people with
Two people with mental.
having kids.
two people with a mental illness have kid. You know what? That's another way of phrasing that. Anyway, I laughed my ass off when you sent that, and I did a lot of trying to figure out how that
Flow
worked.
charts and some Venn diagrams.
Yeah, Venn diagrams were in the.
And then I sent one with the lady that wanted to earn a little extra money by doing this extra.
Sagittarius Sally. Is that
I
what her name
didn't
was?
read that one. I didn't get to it. So what's the story behind that one?
Well, there was a short video, and I think it's only fair to play some audio.
Play it. Well,
Oh,
hold on a
God.
because
second.
you really don't need to see the video,
Yeah,
except
because there's no video really.
Well, the video is she's a large woman.
And she's explaining something.
Yes, her side gig.
Her side gig.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get that cue.
I don't remember.
I'm sure I'm going to regret this.
We text so many things, and I.
I'm going through here.
Oh, you got it?
All right, hold on a second.
got
So
it
let
as
me.
well.
Here we go.
Guys will pay me to poo on their chest.
How many clients do you have?
I have like 3 like regulars.
How much per turd?
I pay like a
Oh,
You muted it.
yeah.
again. I
Something
shit on
bad
them
happened.
every time I have to go. This is what it would sound like if you guys will pay me to poo on their chest.
How many clients do you have?
I have like 3 like regulars.
How much per turd?
I'd say like a 200. Sometimes they make me stay like over the weekend. I shit on them every time I have to go. When I have the runs, like they like to get shit on when I have the runs, like diarrhea. Well, I don't have a problem shitting like on people because I like went to jail. So like you have to shit in front of people when you're in a cell. So I went to jail for pepper spraying someone.
Why'd you pepper spray him?
Because she was trying to fight me, and I don't fight because that's ratchet, and I'm like a grown woman. Guys will pay me to poo
Because that's ratchet, and I'm a grown
That's-
woman.
Yeah. Anyways,
Let's get back to people pay her to shit on them.
no, poo.
No, diarrhea as well.
Oh
Is
god.
it you
You
get
didn't
paid?
get that part?
You get paid extra. You pay
Well,
to
they,
diarrhea on them.
they pay her to stay over the weekend so she can have the runs on them
Oh.
and just blast her ass out.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's back up for a second there. Preston,
I don't get it.
did you have a story there, sir?
You're the one that sent it, Sean.
Have you experienced that?
Oh, wait, about like somebody shitting on my chest. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Whoa.
Yes.
No. What I was going to say, you started off the podcast with a story.
Oh no.
Oh, no, you can't go off this that
Yeah,
way.
you're the one that sent it.
Yeah, you're the
You're
one
the
who
one
brought
that
it up.
sent it.
You're the one who brought it up.
I was like, I so want to hit reverse on this fucking thing. I mean, if you see the video, I mean, she looks like
She's a mess.
just like tattoos across the eyebrows, and she's probably 3 times the size that she needs to be.
Correct.
And you could tell that every time she does poo, it's probably the size of a baby hippopotamus.
It's just voluminous.
Oh, you can
Amounts.
imagine the vulgar post taco burrito eating
Yeah.
summit. That's
I don't understand the fascination. That's a sexual fetish to be
Scat.
shit on,
That's about scat.
and it's called scat.
Yes.
And that's the golden
Here we
shower
go.
is the urine thing.
oh,
and we don't have
boy.
to. Let's not dive into this.
Well, we've talked about fetishes in the past. I think we've kind of avoided the scat fetish, the shit fetish.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason.
I
There
don't
is
get it.
probably a good reason for that.
I don't get it.
I haven't really pinpointed what it is, but there's probably a good reason.
And I think we've talked about it, the 2 girls in 1 cup video that
Yeah.
I have never seen,
Hey, really?
and I don't want to see
I
it.
have seen.
Eh,
Two-
two chicks, 1 cup. Is it just
What?
2 chicks, 1
2
cup?
chicks, 1 cup.
And it's basically,
girls,
you know,
1
this
cup.
girl has a goblet. It's like a schooner. It's like a beer schooner.
Oh no!
And this lady, it's not even like a normal shit. It's almost like a soft serve
Okay,
that
stop.
comes out.
Stop.
And she
I'm
fills
getting
it
sick.
up. It's like the little Dairy Queen, how you pull the little handle down and
Yeah,
it
I-
dispenses.
I literally tasted it
and
for
it's like
some
she's
reason.
got the cup and she's like swirling it and it fills this thing up and they're like,
You think it ends right
and
there?
it puts it in
You
your
watched
mouth.
it too, Preston?
Well, you think it ends right there.
but it doesn't.
Then they eat
Then
it.
they eat it.
They
and then
shit in a cup and they ate it.
so that was like something that went around where it's like, oh, you sent that to a buddy and you're like, oh, let's see. if
That's
they
about
open
7 or
it.
8 years
Oh,
ago.
just to
then-
mess with
Dude,
them.
they
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
deleted that from the internet.
And so, well, then there is another one that came out that was 2 kids, 1 sandbox. And let me tell you about that one. So that is
great.
that is 2 individual adults in a sandbox, and there is a candle being inserted the tip of a penis. That it's a normal sized candle that widens at the end of it. And then that wasn't enough, so then a screwdriver was
Oh.
brought in.
Dude, why are we doing this? Stop.
10
Then why
times
did you
worse.
watch
It's not
it
a
that,
dude
for
like
that
this,
Yeah,
long?
why did you
I
watch
didn't,
it?
I vaguely remember watching it. I don't think I really watched it all the way. I think I skipped through it.
Well,
Yeah,
you probably know the brand. It was probably like a DeWalt screwdriver or something.
God, that's so horrible.
it's
I
like-
don't
it was
know
a
what
blue
it
one.
is.
Straight
The
edge.
It's a
people
blue
that the one listener we have just flushed the toilet.
Yeah,
and
we
went
lost
off.
Well, I think it's a matter of,
We lost them.
we talked about mental people.
It's a mental disorder.
That's got to be a mental disorder, having people shit on you and sticking candles up your dick hole.
dick hole, butthole, whatever.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
it's just-
That's what he said, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
What do
there's
you
no
call
other
it?
way to describe it. It's a dick
urethra.
hole.
It's a urethra hole.
God. You know what? You know, and you gotta start cutting off the friends that send that shit to you.
yeah, that's
You know, I have a friend that
Those are
keeps
choices.
sending the BBD. Right? We're not the big black dick guy.
Yep.
And we had the freeze this last week or whatever,
Right.
and he sends a thing that says, weather bulletin, here's what's coming, Governor Abbott, emergency something. Here are the zip codes going to be most affected. Please click. And I'm a fucking moron. And I clicked, and sure enough, there he is.
Big old schlong.
yeah.
I thought you were talking
BBD.
about me. I didn't send that.
No,
so
no, you
must be
didn't.
talking about somebody else.
No, but sure enough, I clicked on it and BBD, and then I responded to him. I said, "Thank you for being our reliable weather person that we can, Oh, it just drives me nuts.
Was he the form of a cloud, or was it the original
No,
picture?
the best one I've ever seen is, guys, you have to see this weather radar. This is the storm that just hit us. Check out this weather radar, BBD, floating through the radar in like cloud form.
Oh yeah, in the different colors.
That one was the best one I've seen yet. And then there's other ones where you have to zoom in. It's like a bee on a flower.
Well, yeah,
and it
you
says,
sent that to me, and I was like, I don't get it. You're like, did you zoom in? I was like, no. Well, you're supposed to zoom in.
yes. Oh, those are so clever. I mean, I know it's so disgusting. We get exhausted by it, and the poor guy's dead, right?
Yeah, he is.
He's
dead.
making no money on this deal. Oh, his
No.
family isn't.
No.
Anyway,
So
Well, this has
obviously
gotta be
y'all
a
have
memory.
talked about him a lot because y'all know he's dead. I didn't know he was dead.
Yeah,
so
he's-
well, how did we know that? How did you know that? I think Jeff, you're the one that knew that.
I read
Did
an
you have to-
article.
you had to
when-
know
when-
his name?
When those his he went by the stage name of Wood.
Why?
he was-
I can't imagine why.
He was a porn star, and it was an article when all those memes were going out. There was an article about him saying this is who he actually is, and oh, by the way, he died 5 years ago,
Good Lord.
kind of a thing. So that's how I know.
And he became
Oh man, speaking
mega
of,
famous.
rest in peace, Wood.
Unfortunate.
After death.
Do we want to change the subject?
Well, are you about to make it sad with the Bills player? Is that what
Well,
you're about
since
to
you
do?
brought it up, and we watched Monday Night Football last night, and the Cincinnati's were just killing it. Just like
Yeah,
I thought they were
look
going to win
good,
the game.
Oh
And-
my God! It was only 7-3 in the first quarter.
but they were driving.
Anywho,
That was a mess, guys.
yeah.
That was a. I don't.
What's the gentleman's name? Harmon, David,
DeMar
Harmon.
Hillman.
So what was really interesting
Damar
about that
Hamlin.
whole thing?
Hamlin, my bad.
Zamar
Yeah.
Hamlin.
The interesting thing about that whole thing is cameras couldn't catch what they were doing when they were working on him
And they were trying.
because both teams created like a human barrier around him.
Well, a lot of the doctors did too. The first, it started off with just the guys in blue, the doctors, the medical staff, and then the players grouped around them.
But that means that both teams were like intimately right there, seeing what they were doing, and
Yep.
it's not. I don't know if you guys have ever witnessed. I think Sean, you said you have. If you have the unfortunate experience of watching somebody get CPR, it's not pretty. I mean,
No, like you
the
said,
force,
it's violent.
Oh,
And-
it's
and
very violent. It's supposed to be violent. If you're
they're
not
trying
breaking,
to get that heart started.
that's right. If you're not breaking ribs, you're not doing it right. I mean, you literally have to have enough compression in that chest cavity to squeeze the heart, to pump it.
To pump it. Right.
And you've got to get through rib cage to do it.
right.
And so if both those teams witness that, and then they witness the paddle thing, that's not fun either.
No.
Where you see the chest,
And they're arching and
oh yeah, yeah.
Everything.
I mean, they know that young man is fighting for his life,
yeah.
and they were bawling. You saw the reaction. You guys saw the same reaction I did, right?
Yeah, and what's frightening is it's a freak play because and Steven called it at the same time because he learned about it when he was going through paramedic school,
Oh, nice.
and it's the I don't know exact commodio mortem or something like that, where you get hit hard enough in the sternum. I think you texted something about it last
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
You get hit in the sternum hard enough at the right time.
In between
Yeah.
beats,
it stops your heart.
The perfect frequency, it just kind of
Yeah.
like
it's an impact.
compacts it and
Yep.
stunts it.
And he got hit by a shoulder pad right in the chest, and you could
right
see it.
there.
You could
Yep.
see him kind of go like that.
And it was not a vicious hit. It was
No.
not a major hit.
It was a normal looking football
yeah.
hit.
As a matter of fact, he wasn't even the one making the tackle. Well, his teammate was making the tackle. The guy was going down, and he was kind of in front of him, and the guy kind of fell into him.
Right.
Is the way I saw it.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
amazing.
And then he stood up because he was happy that the tackle was made, and then he
Hopped up, adjusted
and
his
then he
stuff, grabbed his helmet,
fell
and fell
straight
back.
back. Boom, because his
lights
heart
out.
his heart probably jiggled.
Yeah.
His heart, not when I say jiggled, it was spasming and then stopped. And so
Yeah.
when that happened, he just fell down. Just fell
You know,
back.
it's amazing because there's you see movies and stuff where people's heart stops. You know, some dude sticks a sword in someone's straight through their heart, and they're kind of like, all right, well, and they're alive for another minute or two.
Right.
You know, it's just like,
That
well,
happened in what, 2 seconds?
yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, I'm like, why? So at that point, is it a stroke? I mean, what caused him to pass out and black out? I mean, that's why I'm like, I don't
So,
understand that part.
First off, the movies are totally jacked. If you take a blade through the heart and your heart stops beating, you are instantaneously not getting oxygen to the brain, which is that's why he passed out.
So when
Right.
if your heart stops, you don't have 2 or 3 minutes to die.
No.
No.
I mean,
No, there's massive heart attacks. My uncle had a massive heart attack, and he died where he stood. He fell, boom, right in his hallway.
dead before you hit the ground.
Yeah, that's what my aunt
Well,
said.
and it's likely that the heart was already not delivering oxygen. Up
Well, I
until
don't
that point. When I say, I mean within seconds.
Yeah.
Within seconds of that.
He got up out of his bed, walked down the hallway, and just dead.
Bam. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your heart is moving blood continuously, delivering oxygen to every organ in your body continuously. And if it stops for even a moment, I mean, your brain's going to be affected first,
Right.
right? I mean, that's why they say that if you lose so much blood, right, and then the organs, if there's a prolonged period of time, and it's not long, that organs didn't receive blood, right? Maybe your brain did.
Oxygenated blood.
Oxygen. Your organs start dying, and they can't reverse that. You know what I mean? So then the organs start dying because they didn't get enough oxygen, and even though they're now doing a blood transfusion and they're doing all this kind of stuff to get oxygen going in the body again, it's
Right.
organs are failing because it's too late.
And
Well, they said he was down for what, 9, 10, 12 minutes or whatever. Does that mean he was out without getting oxygen?
No.
no, I think they
So
started on him fairly
Yeah.
quick, right?
They came out and said, like, so a situation like that, it takes 3, which is like, this is the best case scenario. Like, it happened like on a football field, to be
Yep.
honest, because it takes like 3 to like, I think 4 minutes for it to be fatal in his situation. Is that if he didn't have CPR like at that moment, then like it could have been fatal.
What
Just
about
see it
brain
silly.
damage of some sort?
well, we
So
haven't
that's
heard
the only
anything
fear.
yet, man.
Yep.
We
That's
haven't
the,
heard anything.
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now,
he
so
had
we're
the
waiting.
helmet. He
He's
had
in
the helmet
critical,
on.
but
So-
he's not.
But you're
No,
saying
brain
like with
doesn't get oxygen.
deoxygenated blood.
that's
mean-
what we don't know. They sedated him, so this was a medically induced coma. So
But
so
they
to
said
speak.
they had some brain swelling
I didn't read that.
to help control that.
I
They
didn't read that either.
yeah, they put a feeding tube in.
Mm-hmm.
They knocked him up, put a feeding tube in, and they
It's not a
knocked him-
feeding tube, an oxygen
breathing tube
breathing tube.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
to help get him to breathe.
that's right.
So-
Well, I don't know if so they have to put you under if they're ever going to put a breathing tube in.
Well, of course.
Because if you're awake, you're going to have like a very violent, convulsive response.
well, it goes into your lung, doesn't it?
Correct. So if they're ever going to put a breathing tube in, and they do that so that they can make sure that there's no interruption of oxygen, all that kind of stuff, they have to put you under. So that's what they did. So they said that we're going to put
Right.
a breathing tube in. Let's put him under. So that doesn't necessarily. My point in saying that is a lot of times they put you under simply because they want to put a breathing tube in, not because there's some sort of medically induced coma. I know I just said that earlier, but does that make sense?
Yeah, they want to make sure they want to do a reboot essentially and replenish the organs of all the necessary oxygen
And not
then
take any chances
boot
on the
them
breathing.
back up, and hopefully everything registers.
Yeah, so that's the outstanding thing that we're waiting on is whether or not he has.
Well, this story here says his heart stopped twice. Once at the field and again at the hospital.
Oh shit! This is new to me.
His uncle mentioned that, at least in this story.
Hanlon's
here.
uncle spoke to reporters outside the University of Cincinnati
Oh,
Medical Center
damn.
on Tuesday night and said his nephew's heart stopped twice, once on the field and again at the hospital. So I'll tell you what this unfortunate story does is it really unpacks everyone takes a step back and starts to apply what's going on here with
Right.
their own life. And you have to. There are reasons why people pray before games. There are please protect our players before we take on this game. And it's just every day you have to cherish. And our family had an unfortunate thing that happened this morning. One of my wife's cousins had a heart attack, and it's just you just gotta take back. I could drop dead. You could drop dead.
Any of us.
Anyone can. Dudes like us out there can drop dead at any time.
Any time.
And you know what? You don't have to be unhealthy. I mean, of course, the probabilities will point towards an unhealthy person like me that will drop dead before someone else. But anyone can. There are guys out there that work out like fanatics and are very healthy and still can drop dead. It can happen to any of us at any given time.
That's true.
And so it's just prayer, self-love, being a man, and living life, and just being
appreciative. Yeah, there it is. I mean, not taking anything for granted.
It's just and hearing the news this morning, man. I mean, that was pretty crazy. Tara's cousin.
How old is this gentleman?
He's 48.
Well, so he's younger than at least me.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is
than all of
he in
us.
the hospital being monitored?
He's in the hospital right now.
Okay, but he's in stable
Yeah.
condition.
He's in stable, and they're going to try to get him to walk around.
You said they put a stent in.
They put a stent in, yeah.
So there was obviously blockage. I mean, usually
Yeah.
that's how heart attacks happen. There's blockage.
Yeah,
Right.
but what about? I mean, this is something that this is something that obviously accumulates over an extended period of time.
Correct.
So when you do have blockage, this is kind of a medical question. I mean, when you do have blockage, I mean, is the normal procedure where you start to get high blood pressure due to the blockage?
You have to get these whole body scans. They scan your heart and look for those things. You've heard about those body scans.
Is that like a body
Yeah.
stress test?
No, they actually scan your blood vessels and look for those blockages.
Yeah, and they can do like an ultrasound on the neck and stuff like that, where they
the carotid's another area.
yes,
that
they're
can get blocked.
measuring they're measuring the lining of major arteries and seeing if there's buildup. That's exactly what they're doing, measuring for buildup,
Yeah.
because they're assuming that if you've got buildup in some of those obvious places where they can check that you've got buildup.
So those cholesterol pills that people
cholesterol? Thank
take,
you.
do those pills? I mean, I know they decrease the ability for it to continue to accumulate and adhere to the blood vessels. But what does it do to the cholesterol that is already on the blood vessel? Does it go and start to decrease that? Does it work in reverse?
I don't know if the medicine does, but there is definitely smarter diet and exercise starts to tear that stuff down. Yes, you can reverse buildup and plaque in your arteries and stuff.
Well, 2023 has got to be
Smarter year.
It's got to be a smarter mirror. I'm going to pledge a pound a week, or half pound a week. I don't care.
Of ham? What do you mean?
No, of body weight. I think that's acceptable. I think that
you want to lose a pound a week?
I think that's doable.
Well, that's 52 pounds.
Not
You're
only
gonna
is
be
it
200 pounds.
doable, but I feel like once you get started, I mean,
It'll be more than that.
a pound after a week is possible. So
I'm only concerned about a pound a week would be good enough for me.
no.
It's a common misconception that like the age is such a big play in like losing weight and all that. But like I am
think
such
you're
a
wrong about that.
fanatic. Well, I'm such a fanatic about watching people on YouTube and all that. And yeah, it slows down your metabolism rate and all that. But what you can do is that it comes to the point where it's like if you have I had an Excel spreadsheet that had the calories and everything that I did, and I ate the same meal for almost a month every day. And I would give myself maybe Saturday, I would go and I'd have a cheat meal, only a meal, not a cheat day. And it was right before summer ended or started last semester. And it was insane because I had never looked the way I've ever looked before. And I feel like as a 20-year-old, I have a pretty slow metabolism where compared to all of my other friends and all that.
Yeah.
And so, like if I eat like a lot in a weekend, I'm not gonna look. You'll see it immediately. And all my other friends, like I mean, Steven in particular, he can go eat whatever he wants for a
Yeah,
while.
he's an
Doesn't
asshole.
matter. His
Yeah.
high metabolism, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you really like, I was like, I didn't drink that month. I didn't do anything, and the way I looked at the end of that, it was insane because I never thought I could ever look like that. And then like,
Meaning you lost weight. I mean, you toned up.
Well,
You
even
in a
that,
good way.
like,
You're saying.
so I mean, if you're consistent, and then I was also like really in track with the numbers. I mean, I took a picture in the mirror, and I was like, wow. And then I looked back at it, I think like a month ago, and I was like, man, that is like the best I've ever looked in my entire life.
So that's where all the naked selfies started.
Yes, that's when it. But I'm saying is like,
When you lose weight like
if-
that, does it affect your penis size?
no, but it does affect your testosterone, and I noticed that because when you cut out more carbs in your diet and you start eating like ground turkey and all that, there was a while where I only ate ground turkey, and then I decided one day it's like ground beef, and then I felt I literally could feel my testosterone the day I ate ground beef, and I was like, wow. I was
Like
like,
it
I feel
dropped?
like
You
I
felt
just
it
felt
drop.
like healthy. I felt like a man. Like I was like, man, my testosterone. I was at the gym. I like started lifting. I think I was on
because
ground
of the
turkey.
beef.
Yeah, like I feel like that difference of red meat that I got there was just like insane. Like I
Wow,
swear.
So beef as opposed to friddle turkey.
To the
Yeah.
Interesting.
pink meat.
No, I just like literally like I was eating ground turkey for every meal. Didn't have anything else. I had like eggs, but as soon as I got the ground beef, that's when like yeah, I remember I hit the gym that day, and that was the best workout I had in a fat minute.
So that's not a protein thing because both of them have healthy amount of protein.
Is it
It's
a
just
type
the-
of protein?
The meats, it's like
Yeah.
different.
What is?
I don't know what that is off the top of my head. It's the reason why it has red meats or why it's red compared to like, I mean, I don't really don't know. I think it's because like the animal has more testosterone in it than like a turkey would, I guess, or like the passed down of
I
like
don't know.
Maybe
hormones.
it's because the cows have what is the
hormones.
yeah maybe they have the hormones. No, there's
Pumped
something
full
else.
of hormones.
What is the stuff you give steroids? They have steroids in them. You
Well,
think?
maybe. Well, I don't know if it's like GMO stuff or all that, but what
Well,
I'm just
but
saying.
the reality of it is that after you eating the beef, you physically felt
Stronger.
more resilient.
Yeah,
Like you
but
go in there and just
that's-
start knocking shit out.
That's just not the point what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to say like, so if y'all like really like wanted to just be healthy, y'all could. I mean, it's easy. You make the Excel spreadsheet, even though it's hard. I mean, yeah,
No. It's simple, but
Yeah.
not easy.
not easy to do.
Yes,
But
it is
so, like,
simple.
Yeah, it was to the point where like, I mean, I was craving oil. Like I wanted like olive oil. I wanted grease to the point because I was eating so healthy for so long that I was like, the second I
is
get
it
my
healthy?
cheat meal.
Is it
I
healthy
mean-
to eat that way?
I was so basically what I was eating was like in the morning it was eggs and oatmeal, and then so that's not bad, and then
Because your body needs all kinds of stuff.
It needs
to
variety.
function properly.
yeah, and then I was also taking vitamins. Vitamins is a big thing. I was taking I was eating ground turkey and sweet potatoes for dinner, and then in the middle of like I'd have 2 chicken breasts, and like there's not a lot of carbs in that. There's really only the
it's-
sweet potatoes.
that's what it boils down to. Low carb is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so the way I was getting my carbs was the oatmeal, the sweet potatoes, and then in my protein shakes, I would ground up oatmeal as well. And so then you like calculate like how much calories you burned in a day,
Right.
and then also I would account like how much I would go work out for. But yeah, like yeah, it is. I'm like I don't want to be like lipping it up over here.
No, well, I mean, we need to hear you.
You're
You're
fine.
lifting it up.
You're fine. Keep going. Actually,
we could adjust you later. I'd rather be able
Actually,
to hear
Steven deep throated. I think Paul's.
yeah, that's why I had the screen here.
Yes.
Now
you.
you're,
Well, that's
you're
a good mic
wondering.
now, so it's brand new.
That's true. It's a different back. Maybe that one over there.
Oh,
Or
good,
that
good,
one.
good.
Those are round.
But yeah.
But you know what,
Round
Preston?
head.
You know what? Everything.
It's so fucked
I've
up.
been reading
I saw him do it too.
you hear about all these different diets. You hear about all these different workout, ways to work out. All these different fasting and this and that, all this kind of shit.
It's all bullshit.
That's so consistently what I keep going back to, and these are new articles that come out, right? It consistently comes back to burning more calories than you take in.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, that's
That's
the
it.
only thing. So that's like the one thing. There's the videos out there where it's like, oh, get abs in like 10 minutes and all that. Like, I remember I used to watch those and be like, oh, no way. hit a quick little 10-minute workout, and you look in the mirror, and you're like, what the fuck? I got no abs. But but like it's all fake. I mean, what you do is like there's calculators out there. You calculate your metabolic process of like you put your age in there. And I would say from what it is from me to y'all, like because we all roughly weigh the same. I'm like 220. I'd say like maybe 300 calorie difference that y'all can't burn compared to me. And honestly, I think that's wrong when it's talking to me because I think I burn less calories than like Steven would. So
it's all relative, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's very difficult to like pigeonhole us into like exactly what we are, right?
But it's a rough estimate. So
Yes.
like once you get that, then you know, oh, okay, I need to eat above that or the same amount, but I just need to exercise. So if you eat the same amount of how much your body processes in a day, then you're like, if I just exercise, you're in a deficit. So once you're in the deficit, you calculate, okay, if I'm in like if I go work out for like 400 calories and you can track that on the watch, then you add that up in a week and you're like, okay, well, if I worked out 5 times, I would burn 2,000 calories that I wasn't taking in.
That's right. That's all net gain, basically.
Who farted?
And then at the end of that,
you'll lose weight. You will lose weight.
And if you wanted a cheat meal, that's how I would calculate it. So like, I would be in like
so you're on a 2,000 calorie deficit,
even
and
more
then
than
you're
that.
and then you're gonna splurge and eat like a 900 calorie cheat meal.
And if that's what it is, then I still have 1,100 calories that I burned that week that I didn't have.
Fucking children are dying laughing about a fart.
What?
What's wrong with you guys?
I'm listening about dietetic.
We're trying to change our lives here.
I'm just saying,
and
it's
eat
just
healthy.
easy.
Pants.
Who shit their pants?
I didn't even hear it.
And just it's not only that. I said, who farted? Jeff was like, I did.
Yeah. See, and unhealthy farts, you know.
No, see, I weigh
they
lighter.
smell.
I just lost a pound.
Cause I bet you, Preston, your farts don't smell at all, do they? Because you're healthy.
No, they reek.
No, the protein
But-
farts are
Okay, well
bad.
then I can scratch that.
Yeah, Preston.
But there's also
Preston
like
farts more than the average person.
yeah, 100%. But there's ways around it though. Like if you don't want to be like the guy that eats
so
vegetables all the time,
Right.
There's green supplements out there. Like it's not like what y'all are probably used to. Like the older age, you think about green supplement, you think about something
Older
gross.
age.
Yeah.
Who the hell are
'Cause
you talking to, boy?
I'm just saying, when you think of green supplement, you think of something's nasty. Oh, I don't want
Right.
to drink it. Well, mine tastes like blueberries, and it's the same nutritional
Is that
facts.
green grass
Yeah.
bucket? I have one of those.
So like, well,
It's got like a million different types of grasses and shit.
so if I take that in my mind, I'm getting the same thing that I would do if I was eating vegetables all day.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm eating meats and I'm eating potatoes and I'm eating protein shakes every day. But I don't need the vegetables if I drink that. So it's like I'm still getting the
So
vegetables.
it's an easier way to get your veggies, right? I
Yeah,
got you.
and so like if you don't want to go out, because vegetables is like one of the things that like
Is-
I don't
is
want to
there
prepare
a-
all the time.
Is there a quality of the vegetables that may impact what it does to your body, though?
No, I mean,
I would imagine if you're going to get down to a fine tuning perspective, yes,
Yeah,
I
there's-
bet you organic asparagus and this and that and this
Well, they
and that
say when you
probably would make a difference.
Well, they
but
say when you cook vegetables, it loses nutritional
nutrients,
value.
yeah.
Yeah.
but they also say that about meat. They say that that's what Liver King's big thing is. So if vegetables lose value when you cook them, if you think about it, when you cook meat, they lose nutritional value because of all the vitamins you're burning off, and that's.
But here's the thing: keep it simple.
I know.
Keep it simple. If you're getting down to the nitty gritty where you're so fine tuned with you've already been doing this for a couple years, you've lost a ton of weight, and you want to get even more healthy, then you can start worrying about steaming vegetables versus. And you can focus on organic versus. I mean, if you can tell a difference in your body, right? But right now, dude, we wouldn't feel the difference between organic and non-organic.
100%.
No.
Well,
I'll take the
Oh,
$1 broccoli frozen.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Right.
the diet that I think that I'm going to do. Julie's doing it, and it's the most successful diet plan ever. It's Weight Watchers,
Yeah.
and it works. And it's basically what he was talking about. You put in all your biometrics.
Yep.
Put in what kind of foods you like and stuff like that. What your typical diet is, and it tells you you're allowed this many points.
Right.
Basically, it looks at all the nutritional values. You can scan the barcodes, and it says this. And
They
it's
make
gonna-
it as easy for you as possible.
and it's going to say you get 32 points a day. This oatmeal is 5 points.
Yeah. So
when
no calorie counting, no ingredients looking,
Nope.
no meal preparation.
If you want
none of that
if
shit.
you want that piece of pie, that's all you're going to have today.
Right.
And see, it gets different when it comes to like
Yeah,
me.
that's great. That's great. Start there.
And it works. I read that they all come back to Weight Watchers. They say Weight Watchers is the proven one that actually works. People lose weight on it and can maintain their weight.
Because it's easy.
Correct.
It
It's
takes
all-
out the step.
Because
of
here's the
eating
problem.
same
Here's the
thing.
problem. We all want to eat healthy.
Yeah.
But guess what? Sunday night rolls around and you don't have any of the shit you didn't plan for the week.
Right.
Right? Oh, let me bad example. Let's say Wednesday. Wednesday rolls around. You didn't plan for the week. You didn't buy vegetables. You didn't buy stuff at the grocery store. And so what do? You cook something shitty or you go out and eat.
I'm going to fix me a box of mac and cheese.
Yep. It's all about planning. It's all
It
about
is.
planning.
It's all about being on top
My
of
biggest pet
everything.
peeve
You
is
have to make a
wasting
commitment to
food.
plan.
I can't stand throwing away leftovers.
I've gotten past that because I was.
You got it. Well,
I was like
then that's
you.
hurting you.
I was like you.
You're right.
Yeah.
I
I'm
say
gonna
I
have to
save.
abandon it.
I save like when I smoke something, I'll save that, and I'll save lunch and stuff like that for the next day. But if it sits there for any amount of time, I'm going to toss it.
Yeah.
Right. Or if it's something bad for me, like Steven comes home and fixes himself a big old thing of pasta. And he
Right.
doesn't eat it. I throw it out.
Yeah. No. Again, it is planning your meals and eating what you plan. Buying it at the grocery store, cooking it, eating what you plan.
Yeah.
Stick to it.
I mean, it's amazing also to think about, like, if you had that, just that extra step of, like, you buy every single meal that you have at the beginning of the week. I mean, first of all, you're saving a shit ton of money, because I would get by with $50 a week in college, and like I don't know anybody else who was spending $50 a week in college and having every meal you needed. But
And healthy.
yeah, and healthy, and I was gaining weight, and I was getting big, hitting maxes, getting the weights up. But
Oh, yeah.
so I mean, that's another
So
thing.
what for $50? What were you doing? And now, mind you, in addition to the $50 worth of food, you have a bunch of prepaid supplements that you're
Yeah.
eating every day too, like the powders and stuff.
So a good way
That adds
to
up, too.
yeah,
That's true. All those proteins and supplements do add up.
So the only one that's dietary is the greens and the protein itself. And like the protein itself, yeah, that's $80 a month. But if you're getting the most expensive one that I like, so like the one that I like, it fits my diet, because I don't look at proteins like, oh, this is the most high value, whatever. But I'm looking at, okay, it has enough carbs, so I don't have to go eat more rice than I need to, or all this. So it's like, if I really, so
It
I
has a
haven't,
profile.
yeah. So
It's a profile, yeah.
I mean, realistically, but that's only $80 a month. I was spending $50 a week, so that's $200 a month on groceries, and then you would have the $80 a month on protein, and then a lot of the other stuff you don't really need. Like I take creatine, that's just something that you and like I don't really want to explain it, but I will.
You're stacking. That's your workout,
there's-
pre-workout stacking.
Well,
crap.
creatine is a supplement you take which lets your muscles absorb water more, and so it expands your muscles more, which creates micro tears, which creates strength. So, but you have to drink a shit ton of water with it. If you don't, so like, it's just like people the athletes take it, and like people that just work out a lot, want to get big. Creatine's like this new thing that's going around.
No. I've heard about it too.
And
Creatine's
so-
actually been around for a long, long time.
Well, it was probably like bad back then. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's good now.
Because we were old, stupid people.
It wasn't like micronized. It was probably like,
Yeah.
I don't know, pill form.
That was macro tears, not micro tears.
Yeah, y'all were getting
It was
crazy.
just old stuff back
Yeah,
then.
we were huge.
But yeah, I mean, I was just getting by with it. But I mean, I think that 1 month where I was on top of everything is when Bronco was there, and the first thing in the morning, I'd take him out, and then I would make my meals. I would do it all, get it done.
A solid routine.
And it was an insane routine, and like there was no way of breaking it.
Yeah.
And like
Like I said,
was
planning.
insane.
I didn't say the routine part, but you're right. It's planning and routine.
And I think it took me 2 weeks to really like get into it, and then I think I could have done that for like literally the rest of my life. It was insane, like, and
Yeah,
like
it's amazing. I can't say this is for everybody. but like Preston said that he can eat the same meal every day, and it's fine. I can too. I don't care.
can't.
It's
It's just
literally
fuel.
Yeah.
To me, I don't care. I can eat the same thing. I mean, it's
Not
just
me. I
need a
get
variety.
soured on it. I
Yeah.
need a variety too.
And see,
you're
that's
right.
Yeah.
that's some that you can't expect that because I get kind of upset when I talk to, my roommates and they're like, "Oh, well, like I don't want to eat this, I don't want to do that," and I'm like, it gets me upset because I know I can do it, but like I also have to put myself in their shoes. And I'm like, oh, they can't do it like that. So
Yeah,
like,
they're pussies.
because I want them to be healthy too. I want my parents to be healthy too, and I know like my mom
Right.
doesn't want to eat the same thing every day. So it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna. Oh, this is the way you do it. You eat sweet potatoes and ground
Everybody's
turkey every
different.
day.
Yeah, everybody's different.
So I mean,
Because I like to rotate between cherry pie, blueberry pie, and chocolate pie.
What about
Pecan.
apple pie?
I don't like apple pie.
Pecan
See,
pie.
everybody's different. It's pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
So, yeah,
Or,
no,
or,
you're right.
or you can go
It
to
is
that
important.
diner
But
and buy
it-
this tremendously large. What the hell did you get? Banana cream pie or chocolate cream pie?
Yes, it had
Key
a
lime
4-inch
it was
white
key lime.
This pie was like a foot tall.
because of
gets
the
it
white
before his
because
food
of the
comes out.
frost, not frosting. What do you call the white stuff?
What are you talking about?
The meringue.
The
Yeah,
meringue.
You're like, bring me a piece of that pie before my food gets out here.
I did that once.
Was this Norma's Cafe?
No, it was up there when
We
we're going
went
to a
to
concert.
Choctaw to the
Oh,
concert
good
up there,
Lord.
and then we ordered all this food, and I was like, "And I want that." What was it? It was banana cream something, whatever. It didn't matter what it was.
yeah, I remember now.
I was like, "I want that before my food comes out."
And you did.
I wanted to make sure I had room for
And we
it.
all gave you shit for it.
Yeah.
Was that
you did.
the
That's
I
an
want
example
all
of
the
poor
meats.
decision making.
Whatever. Oh yeah.
all the meats?
And then we go back for breakfast, and she's like, "So, would you like bacon, sausage, ham?" And I was
want
like,
all
"I
of
want
them.
them all."
Bring me the meat.
Just back up, ma'am. I want to make sure you understood what I said. I would like all the meats.
Ron Swanson style.
Yeah. See,
what it
that's the stuff we're gonna have to cut back on
It's
there,
just,
homie.
I mean, it takes like, it honestly
true.
takes a month. If you're clean for a month, you don't even want that stuff anymore.
That's true.
Because I
You stop
remember
craving it.
I was, well, I was like it was basically a couple months, and then I remember I had it's either McDonald's or something, and I felt like so
Absolute-
shitty
Oh,
that I was
it's like
like,
eating a Costco hot dog.
and I
It's
was
just
like,
you're gonna
oh my
fucking
God.
cancer.
It's
Well,
that's
So bad for you.
that's what's so interesting. It's amazing going down and instantaneously sucks when it hits your stomach.
the grease level or like something, the fat level like hits your stomach, and I was just like, damn, I feel like I'm sweating grease just by
Yes.
standing here right now.
What do you call it? Meat sweats.
Well,
Meat sweats.
But it's like
Yeah.
it's not
real.
It wasn't like that though. It was more like, oh, I'm
real.
so unhealthy right now. Like,
Oh yeah.
and like then you
totally
get
legit.
yeah.
I'll tell you, we went to Costco with Jeff, and the one time I had it, first of all,
I love that
the
hot
hot dog was fantastic.
It is fantastic.
I
was.
ate
It
that
is
fucking
fantastic.
thing, and I was just like,
And
"This
it's
is the best thing
$1.50.
ever."
It's $1.50 with a drink.
Oh,
I
it
know.
was huge.
Yeah,
And
how do you turn that down?
And then
right?
the
I
ice
get, like,
cream.
10 minutes into the store,
It's awful.
and I'm just like, something's not right.
Oh, hold on. You eat it first?
Oh yeah,
Oh, see, that's where you go wrong. You gotta order after you're done shopping. Then you get the hot dog.
Oh.
Then you take it to the car and you eat it in the car. And then the ride home is miserable.
I couldn't
Oh.
even
It's the
finish
one-
my hot dog
Dude.
when he came down. For
Really?
we went to Costco with Jeff and Julie.
Oh, that's right. I took pictures of you eating
And
it.
I had two, and I got that one down because I was so hungry. And then we got in the car, and I
Two
was
of the Costco hot dogs?
yeah, and I was taking down the other half, and I was like, wow. I was like,
Dude, there's no way I could eat two.
And you know
of
what?
those.
You know
No
what's
way.
crazy?
They're
though?
quarter pound.
Is I had the Sunday too in my left hand. So I was, and I forgot a straw, so I was lipping the Sunday with my left hand, and then I had
Bro.
the hot dog in my right, and
This is
I
all
just
on you, man.
took a moment, stepped back in the car right there. I think I farted, and then it was brutal.
Death. Like Jeff did just a while ago.
Not
Yeah.
good.
Kind of wafted under the
It did.
table.
It went straight to me for some reason.
Oh, that's a change. That's nice. I find that refreshing. Usually, when either one of you fart, it goes straight into my stomach.
Oh man, I got this mental image of Jeff now holding that hand up as me.
Yeah, I'll own it.
Was it like shameful or was
You
it
were
like
proud.
half
Yeah, you guys were
prideful?
like busting a gut over here. like a bunch of
We're out here
5-year-olds.
talking about getting our lives better.
We are
And
going to
y'all
get
are
our lives
laughing.
better. You know what? And look, I'm telling you, this poor kid that got hit with the football game, and your uncle / whatever, Ruben, having the heart attack last night. And
Mortality, man.
Your mom sits there and texts me, and she's like, "You need to go and do this. You're not gonna fucking die. You need a stress test. You need this." So she started barking out orders at me. And
Because,
I'm like,
those moments we feel mortality. We do.
yeah, man.
He's a 24-year-old kid facing death on that field.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it. It's day 3 of January already. I mean, like,
We're
New
way
Year's-
behind.
Yeah, I mean, you should
No,
have
I-
We've
I
already
got
blown
you.
it. We've already
Yeah.
missed the window.
No, I've had a very productive. So I mean, my biggest thing is I don't even think it was bad. Black eyed peas aren't that bad, right?
Oh, they're horrible.
You did have, I mean,
Were they fried?
I went into the garage for a second, came out, and my dad just gave me like a weird look. And he was looking at me so
All right, all right, all
strangely.
right. Look, I did really good. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, for the New Year's Eve party, Tara had bought some chocolate cake,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't
Did
touch
they
it.
catch you eating it in the garage?
No. Preston went out in the garage. I took the chocolate cake out of the refrigerator and set it on the counter. And I was trying to distract him because I ended up eating. I didn't eat that much, right?
I don't know.
I had 2 forkfuls. And that's it.
I didn't even see you eat it.
Is it one of those serving forks?
No, it was not.
There was a like a meat
That
fork
was a-
that kind
like
of
a-
It's
like
one
a
of those
buffet
gigantic.
fork.
Yeah. One of those gigantic serving
No, I'm not
forks.
slicing a turkey. no. Look, but it was funny though because I was trying to.
It had
I
guilt.
knew it. I
You were-
knew it.
yeah,
he
you
came
were-
in.
you were
and
busted.
I was like, he's gonna catch me, and I'm busted because we're having the conversation, and it's just like, and first of all, I don't really eat that much sweets. I really don't. I try to cut all that shit out. I've never really liked it, and I told you guys why. It was that one time where I ate the shit out of Snickers bars.
Right.
You ate Madeline's piece of cake too, though.
Well, that
Oh,
was,
she was furious.
there are little pockets of time where there are
Yeah, you have
these
weak
indulgences.
We all have weak moments.
That was really weak though. That,
You just have a
Fuck,
lot
man.
of weak moments.
I ate Madeline's cake. She had turned around. She had cut it, sliced it, set it there all nice, prim and proper, and turned around and
Bam! Dad showed up.
Dude, seriously, it was not even 10 seconds.
You're like,
It was like,
yeah. You're like, I'm sorry.
I think she was gonna top it with something, and she was like,
She was
what
about to
the
like
fuck?
grate
It was
some
like
like,
a few
cinnamon.
crumbs.
She's like,
And
I
she was
hate you,
like-
Dad.
I was gonna split that with you. Oh, Madeline.
funny.
Man, I trip out. My 4 kids, they're just nothing. I mean, Madeline, she gets food all the time. It's like the other day, Emily goes to the store and goes buys a bunch of fucking hamburgers and brings them home. And I'm like, I'm not eating it. I didn't eat it. So then there's a burger sitting there, and I'm like, well, someone didn't eat this burger. And you know how I am about to go for food that's been wasted.
Yeah, you gotta eat
So
it.
and
mean,
Emily,
just eat the meat.
she goes down there and she like eats half the half of a half, and I'm like, well, fuck, what's the other half gonna do?
Go
It's
down
fucking
your
11 o'clock at night.
Going
it's
down
gonna
your throat.
go bad. I walk over there and I eat that fucking half burger.
Of course.
I tore it up. I tossed it in the goddamn microwave for about 20 seconds, and I inhaled it. It was delicious.
Yeah, that was a good burger place too.
10 minutes
where
later,
at?
Haystack.
Madeline comes downstairs.
It says, "Where's my burger?"
Says, "Where's my burger?" 10 minutes. It may not even been 10 minutes.
Yeah, it would have been cold and nasty by then. What is she thinking?
All coagulated.
Yeah.
Not even that, but like I came home the other day too, and there was the Pizza Hut cinnamon platter
All right,
and
well-
molten lava cake.
Okay, who's buying
Right.
that shit?
My
They're
sister
not making-
Emily.
Yeah,
So-
that's not helping.
and so she can eat whatever she wants, but I think there needs to be a talk made that you need to stop buying in bulk and buy for yourself
And leave
'cause,
it out
like,
for
Yeah, 'cause
weak people.
I mean,
Yeah. Well,
and we also
'cause
have a bowl of candy sitting there. Like, I mean, that
I don't touch
should.
that, though.
Oh, you say that, but we don't know.
I don't.
I mean-
Dude, I don't care. I'll tell you. I don't eat it. In fact, I added to it.
Yeah, I saw that because I when I was
opened
looking
up
through
my
my
desk because
Yeah, it
I
does.
purged my desk because I'm getting a new one, and I told you guys the first half of the show I'm getting
Third
a new
time.
one. So I purged my desk. I opened up my left drawer, and I'm like, I got fucking Hershey's bars, candies,
Ugh.
Almond Joys,
Nutter
a
butter
little
peanut
bag
butter
of Nutter
cookies.
Butter peanut butter cookies, and I got all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I forgot about this stuff. You know?
Yeah, there was a moment in time where he would hide like chocolate bars around the house, and you'd find a little pocket somewhere, and you're like, oh, you got 3
You
like
open a
Reese,
drawer up, and there's like
Reese's.
a Musketeers bar, and
little Toblerone. You're like, what the hell is that?
You know what? It's funny because I was in Houston. I was in Houston at my father-in-law's house, and I went downstairs. Everybody had gone to bed, and I went downstairs to get more water in my cup, and I caught my father-in-law's wife accessing a secret stash of candy.
Really?
And you would have thought that I caught her stealing money or something like really serious. She was like, her eyes got huge, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Unbelievable. She was sneaking down at night and eating candy and chocolate. And
She didn't want anyone else to know.
didn't
about
want
it.
anybody to
Who
know
was
about
this?
it. This was Alan's wife, the ex-wife.
The girl from Cuba.
No, ex-wife. They're not married. Yeah, they're not married. But
Well,
yeah,
we
it's
know
crazy.
why. We know why now.
It's just so funny
She
that
was
people
sneaking
have
chocolates.
this. You know, it's a vice that they can't quit. And they don't. They feel guilty about it, and they don't want anybody else to know. I mean, it could be an addiction about anything, really. It can be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be whatever.
there are some
But some
people-
people have it with candy.
I think
Well, candy's
people
the
do. I
most
think
addictive.
Steven had an addiction when he was younger.
He still does. Well, actually, no, he doesn't now.
It's
He
not-
doesn't
It's
now.
not like it was.
Yeah.
But he would go down. I
No,
think
that
you
was-
would go with him, and he'd buy pounds of
Of
Skittles.
Mike and Ike's.
Skittles and Mike and Ike's, and he'd eat them in one sitting.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mike. Oh yeah, that's the little.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one of Preston's birthday parties, and I remember Steven coming up to us. Is like he came up to Terry. He's like, "Mrs. Murphy, can I have another cupcake?" Frosting all over his face.
And then the story goes, he goes and
young,
eats
huh?
it, and then he comes back and he's, can I have another cupcake? And he does it like 3 times before
Oh my god!
he's all finished.
That was the one where we did
Wow.
the Pine Derby car racing, wasn't it?
Oh.
I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Is that when you had to bag his feet?
Okay, somebody farted again. And I definitely
probably
smell that
Jen.
It
one.
was not me.
Not
It
me.
was the dog. It wasn't me.
Dog breath, man.
No, I had taken 3 or 4 2x6s and ran them through the table
Gosh.
saw.
Mhm.
Was using a dowel. Anyways, I made some tracks
Yeah.
for the
going
little derby
on?
cars to race down, and they were.
Oh, so you guys this was not a Boy Scouts.
No,
no, this is in our house.
it's a
This
you
birthday
just did
party.
your own little derby.
I
I
That's
don't even
nice.
think it was my idea.
it stretched from the dining room out into the entry.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I thought you were there.
No,
Oh, that was a
no.
tier.
Yeah.
No, me and Dawson weren't friends. We were friends maybe it was like freshman or no, first grade, and then like everything after that, and then like
It was a
junior and
cool
senior
idea,
year.
though.
I think we started hanging out again.
It was very interesting.
Well, because he went to Clark and I didn't know, so like, and then we stopped talking because of that, and then he went to Centennial, and freshman and sophomore year, I didn't even know Dawson went to Centennial, and I was like, I remember I saw his older brother. I don't know if we're allowed to say names here,
Dylan, yeah.
Dylan.
and I was like, what? I was making the connection in my head. I was like, I saw him playing basketball game, and I was
You're
like,
like, if
where's
Dylan's there,
I
then
was like,
Dawson must be
Dawson
here.
has to be here, and so then
Yeah.
like because I thought he would play football if he was there, because
He did
all I
not
knew
play.
him was that he would play football in Clark. So
I thought for
I guess
sure
I shouldn't be saying names of high
Dawson would
school.
have played football. I mean, because I've seen him play and I've seen him catch. He would make such
Yeah.
a great wide receiver.
Remember, he was a little kid.
Yeah,
He was a smaller kid. It took him
He
a while
was
to
petite,
grow and develop. And even now, in my opinion, he's underweight. But when he got to Clark and was playing Clark football, he was the safety, and he was doing the whole back away from the pile. And when the pile went down, he'd kind of pat the helmet. I mean, he was not making hits at all. He was not comfortable hitting. He wasn't comfortable getting hit. And so that's when I realized, we're done. We're done with football because you can't play football that way.
yeah.
You can't play timid.
Nose
you
in
can't. You
the
can't.
dirt.
I mean, you shouldn't be, honestly, in my opinion, you shouldn't be
Okay,
playing
he just
at all.
shit his pants or something.
That wasn't me. I'm smelling something, and either the fart you left or you shit on the floor or something.
Could be making a return.
But
Could be.
no, yeah,
Coming around the room,
Could have like escaped the clothing.
maybe. Maybe.
Well, I don't know
Yes.
if we
Seeping out.
really dove into this. We did the intro. We did this Dudes Like Us show, and we weren't planning on this going to a nutritional thing. I kind of wanted to steer this
It was
into
good though.
some
I
healthy
think it was-
conversations
yeah.
because we have the horrific scene that happened last night, and then the horrific news we got about our cousin this morning, and it
Yeah.
just kind of, like you said, it's the mortality sets in, and dudes like us around the planet, this is stuff that we're exposed to all the time, and life is short, and shit happens on the turn of a just
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
we just had a family friend. She's mid-40s. Just found out she has colon cancer and liver cancer.
Damn.
Good Lord.
And they just took out a section of her colon, and now they're going to have to go back and do something about her liver.
She's a relatively healthy person. Doesn't
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah, she's out there. She lives out in Lubbock.
She exercise and
Yeah, she's got I think 4 or 5 kids.
Damn, I tell you, a lot of this is genetics too, though, man. It's
Oh.
not necessarily that you live an unhealthy life. It's just
Her lifestyle. I don't know. I don't live out
bad
there.
when you
things
cut out
happen.
a section of your intestine, what does it really do? I mean, does it? I mean, what am I trying to say? When you cut out, like, let's say it's 10 feet long, and you cut off 4 feet, does that mean
No, I
You
think
don't-
they stretch it. They stretch it to match with what they cut out.
also what they put an inner tube in there or something?
No, I think they
Just kind of pull it down.
kind of pull it down.
I don't know.
That's what I think.
I don't know. But your body is absorbing nutrition as it's working its
Yeah,
way.
that's what I was
matriculating
thinking.
down, right?
So you're going to be missing, and there are different
Yeah.
pockets of the intestine that actually do
Correct.
certain types of absorption.
Yeah. So when you cut out pieces of it, it impacts your metabolism, your digestion. It impacts
That's
your life.
interesting. And then some people don't even have it. Sometimes it bypasses, and you shit in a bag.
Correct.
That's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colostomy
Good
bag.
Lord.
And you know what you were saying earlier, like we all kind of deal with this, but the problem is we all think, yeah, I'll get to that.
Mhm.
I'll start eating better later.
Oh, it's
I'll
everything.
start
It's
start
everything. It's our
exercising
camping
later.
It's going camping. It's going to
Yes,
the
it's everything.
the bourbon
Bourbon Trail.
and it's going everywhere. We never have time to do it. You know why? Because we're in a rat race. It's just a
Well,
goddamn rat race all the time.
But again, it's planning.
You know,
Just
Well,
it's
back
the
to
Andrew
the diet
Tate
thing. It's about planning.
It's Andrew Tate mentality. It's taking life by the
Yes.
throat, and
Yes.
it's you get ahead of the race.
I like that, by the
Yeah.
throat.
yeah,
I mean,
That's exactly right.
but it's like that's why it's like I like watching people like him. I like watching people like Liver King because I mean they have that attribute of like looking out on life. Like I mean,
Like, go get it now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
Like
like, those,
now.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I mean I've always like, I mean I got the pure rage of, or I have the wrath of like 1,000 suns when I'm over in college because I'm just like I listen to that stuff. I really don't have time to relax over there like I do over here, and so like when I'm over there, I mean it's 100%. I can do whatever I want.
I got to tell you one thing that's fantastic that I like you're doing over there, and I like the fact that you don't have a girlfriend.
I
And
can't do it.
no, look,
I can't do it.
well, I mean, I think it's fantastic because you're not distracted, and I'm not saying that happens to everyone, but
It
I'm
does.
just saying.
Every young man.
Well, I'm just saying, you're able to focus on you without being distracted with anything. And I think it makes your education that you're getting, it's concentrated, I think.
Yeah, I didn't have a girlfriend through college either. I had fun, but I didn't have any kind of emotional.
Yeah, but you had female roommates. You didn't
there
need
was-
girlfriends.
you got it
nothing
when you
going on
want it.
there. Nothing going on there with them.
Then you're
No?
creamy little
Are you sure?
whatever that
What?
What?
Creamy.
Creamy.
What is the
You described it as creamy. It's not
Yeah,
Sean.
it
It's
was-
your words.
Yeah,
Uh,
this was
Steven
in your
he's
bathroom.
brought up
the
Those
injection
gels they had
creamy.
there that was shared by the
Yeah.
mom.
No, the yeast infection.
Yeah.
Applicator
Oh.
and tube.
See, I don't want to. That's creamy different.
There was a
than creamy
communal
was
It's-
yeast
it's rather-
infection.
Had some very long hairs kind of creamed onto it.
What? There was like a communal yeast
Oh,
infection
dude.
She shared it
too.
with her mom,
Well,
so I don't know.
Her
what
mom
it
came
was.
over and says, "Hey, can you
Yes.
have some of that Monostat 7? Just gonna have some of that." Just like,
He
yeah, mom, it's
also-
in there. I just go ahead and use my applicator. It's only It's only been used once.
So
And it was
a little
creamy
background
when you
a
came
little,
back in there.
A little background. His roommates and his roommate's mom were merkin makers.
Right.
And
Merkin
so-
makers. They were in comas. They were harvesting.
Yeah, they were merkin makers, and they came from a long line of merkin
Good
makers.
Lord.
Jeez.
So, that's kind of gross, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, somebody farted again.
Jeff,
I
are you
did-
shitting yourself?
I did that one.
Yeah,
yes.
that
Would you
was
stop.
disgusting.
What's wrong with you people?
Good. I have to get Sean back.
Oh, okay.
He bombed the stairwell. It was like a
Oh.
tunnel of stench.
Yeah, that one was brutal.
That one's bad. I'm smelling the bourbon.
I
We're
don't
getting
even
the
know.
hints
I
of
don't know.
peaches from
I don't know what
earlier.
you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, I
boy.
smell ass peaches right now out of my bourbon glass.
Yeah. But me and Dawson kind of have the same mentality when it comes to talking to females. Actually, we've talked about it more recently when,
Yeah.
like,
Ugh.
we were just like, well, yeah, I don't think
I mean,
I'd
the
have
secret
time.
is just blowjobs and handjobs.
I'm getting lightheaded here.
Jeez.
Or anal. Is that what you said?
And I did not say that.
Oh.
So hold
Do
on,
it.
hold on. You're on the same page about the priority not being girlfriend.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I mean,
you know what? That's his whole friend group.
However,
The whole group.
Well, it's
There's
like
only one or two out of that group that have like a steady girlfriend. The rest of
We-
them are like, nah, we're good.
we actually were at a friend's house yesterday, and like we took a step back and we realized everybody there has not been in a relationship for like 2 or 3 years, and we
Years.
were like,
Yeah.
okay, like
we're
and then-
really happy.
And you're
I
like,
was like,
oh,
we're all,
you're all very gay.
yeah,
Oh.
Bum, 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 bum.
It didn't turn into like some sort of
Another
weird.
house
It was
party.
it was
party,
a
did it?
yeah, it was a masked orgy party.
It was just a big
after that.
circle jerk, is what it was. Wasn't it?
So we didn't know who was who.
Yeah, and I helped pay for that Airbnb.
Good
Did you?
Lord.
I think so. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
the lineage of
but, no,
you.
no, but being serious.
But
You
yeah.
guys made a decision that that's not your priority right now.
Yeah, I mean, some of us is decisions. Some of us in that group, I don't think
Just don't have options.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but I think there's definitely some people in that group that
You know what? Every single guy in that group has options. They just don't put themselves out there.
yes, yeah,
You are not going to get a girlfriend if you don't show confidence
yeah.
and walk up to, I mean, you don't have to be like obnoxious.
And that's
but you
why I
have to-
post the nude photos.
Well, I think
Wow.
today's society
Yeah.
in the dating game is all on the fucking phone.
I mean,
Yes.
Some of the social
Well,
interaction
Yep,
has
they're
been
being
lost.
they're being wusses and hanging and
Yeah.
doing nothing
Well,
but texting.
it makes it a little bit. Well, it makes that's a little give and take. It does take away from the social experiences that we had, but it also cuts through a lot of the crap.
It does. You can get your
You
foot
know,
in the door, but,
but-
at the end of the day, you
but
have
you
to.
can lie your ass off.
Yeah, there
on
are
these
people out there
things.
that fake it, but they
Yeah.
have the dating where you sit in the roulette chairs and you kind of like go
Oh,
around
yeah.
with
Speed
people,
dating.
speed dating, something like that.
no.
I'll
So
pass on
I would
That-
say
that- for real, people still do that.
Yeah.
No,
That-
nobody
that's been
does
They're
that.
around
older
for a
people.
while.
Older
yeah,
people
older
do
people
that.
do that.
Yeah, that's been
no,
around for a
there's-
long time.
No, I would say
How
that
uncomfortable would that be?
I feel
I
like
would
it'd
hate
be
it.
so
I would
bad.
hate it too.
Yeah.
Well, you
'cause-
know what? Taking a hard turn. There was something happened on Saturday, right before like New Year's Eve. I mean,
Well,
it
the
was
Buckeyes lost.
well, Barbara Walters, legendary news anchor,
No, or that
dies at 93.
Yeah.
Barbara Wawa.
Barbara Walters.
So there were a couple deaths this last 2 weeks.
Oh,
I
Pele,
thought
too.
there were some other ones.
Pele, the
Pele.
soccer
Yeah, Pele
paper.
was one of them.
Pele died. Probably the best soccer player ever.
There was another one.
And there was another big one. I forget
Oh,
the
the
name.
Steelers player. I mean, he died.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Immaculate reception.
Oh, Franco Harris.
Franco, yeah.
He died like less than 48 hours before his big.
The 50th
Yeah, isn't that
anniversary.
crazy?
That was crazy.
And they won though. The Steelers won, I think, after that too. So I think
So that's
was
good.
a good thing. Yeah. I
Well,
think
there
there's
was a big
someone
name.
else,
Christy Alley
but-
died in 22. We got Angela Lansbury. Do you guys know who she was? Murder She Wrote.
Oh yeah.
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're doing all of 2022.
Well, no, I mean, but I just kind of pulled up some stuff, and I thought it was kind of interesting.
yeah, there was a big name in the last couple of weeks though.
I would say though that that DeMar guy was who like got injured. He was giving off the Kobe Bryant like effect. I feel like because when Kobe died, it was like the same kind of feeling. I was like, oh, we just kind of like.
It didn't impact me when Kobe died.
Well,
You didn't?
I
No.
thot it was.
Why would it?
It was insane. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
even
didn't
watch
impact me.
basketball at the
I
time.
mean, it was
I don't watch
unfortunate.
NBA.
I felt bad for him, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm kind of like, he
What
lived
about
like
the
a
other
king.
people in the helicopter?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about
He's
it all
just
as
a
a
man.
group,
Yeah,
though.
I hear you. I hear you. One thing that did affect me initially is the first report that came out was that he died along with his 4 daughters. And
Well,
I was like, holy shit. He
I was
just
probably
lost.
more
And
upset
that-
about his daughter dying. Than
Yeah, and that
him.
did not end up being true. It was
Right.
one daughter that he was going to a game with.
Well,
But it was
basically what he
multiple
did is
daughters were on
he
that
picked
plane.
up it was he and his daughter, and I think there was another daughter
Yeah,
that
there's
was there.
I-
But he picked up the whole team and says, "Hey, you know what, guys? I'm picking up the team, and I'm gonna take you to your next game in the helicopter."
No.
I don't know if it was
No.
about
No.
That wasn't it.
No,
No.
It was
because
him and his
if,
daughter, and I
if
think
a whole
2 or
team died, we would have gotten.
it was like 2 or 3 other couples
Yeah,
on that
it was. Yeah,
flight.
they were
I think.
they were going somewhere and it was foggy. So then
Isn't that sad though that you hear
Yeah.
nothing about anybody else on the
Well, you know,
helicopter?
yeah, there were other people on there, so
yeah,
And
there was
they zero coverage at all. And why would they get coverage? Right? They're not famous, right?
right.
So, but still,
But Kobe Bryant didn't do anything. He didn't mean anything to me. I don't watch NBA or
no, I understand.
anything like that.
I
so.
understand. It's still sad
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sad. Yeah,
because of the
I was
daughter
sad.
more than
Exactly.
More than
I was sad for what happened, but his death did not impact me. Just
Yeah.
like with this, I think this what happened last night. Kind
Oh,
of
Pope.
Benedict,
The Pope died.
Pope Benedict,
Oh, it's not who I was thinking, but yeah.
the only pope to retire.
Franco Harris.
That's
You got
right.
Stephen Witch,
maybe I don't know.
Georgia Holt, Kirstie Alley,
No.
Bob
Good.
McGrath,
We already talked about them.
I feel like there was
Brad
a
Williams.
Hold on. So what you were about to say?
Paul
Well, I
Perry.
said this last night kind of impacted me
Oh, yeah.
because,
Because no
Right.
game has ever been unprecedented.
well, not
totally.
just that, but Brandon. Well, you played football too, Preston. But Brandon played football, and he's told me after the fact about some of the shit that he went through, the injuries, and how many concussions he's had. And
And didn't tell you about.
no, he didn't tell anybody.
Oh wow! Not like the coach trainer or the team trainer or
Yeah,
anything
he
like
goes.
that.
Yeah, and
Because nobody wants to be a wuss. I guess. I mean,
well, you want to play.
right? You don't
Right.
say anything because you want to play.
You want to play, and he stopped playing because of the injuries were catching up to him, his knees specifically, and
Isn't that kind of a form of an addiction too? The need to play.
look at Tom Brady. Is that an addiction? His
Well,
It may
competitiveness
be.
probably cost him his marriage.
But you know what? It's interesting you say that because there was a guy, I don't know who he was, but he was really impactful in what he was saying on the broadcast last night. I guess he got hurt and it was pretty serious. And
Is that
like,
black guy? The
Yes.
black guy? Yeah.
He
I
was
saw,
awesome.
I saw that.
I was
yeah.
actually, he was,
Yeah, it was sad. The way he described it, that was
He was awesome.
He
He
did
was-
100%. That was the way to go.
yeah, he was really impactful.
Yeah.
And he was kind of sharing the mentality of these guys.
Die on the
All
field.
they've ever known since they were a young kid is this is it.
Right.
You play football and injuries are part of it.
Right.
And like you were, and boom, 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 and and we don't see any of that as fans.
Yeah. I mean, he was saying like you have to be ready to die on the field, and nobody ever like realizes how much like that statement is actually true. And till something like this has ever happened, and now you're like, oh well,
Yep.
these guys are putting their lives on the line
Yeah.
every day when it comes to like stuff like this, and he's like, but they do it anyways because of like that's all they've ever
For the
known.
money.
Well, no, it's
money
more.
and
It's more
fame.
than that. It's everything. It's opportunity. It's opportunity to get into a college. It's the money that comes with it. It's what they
goals.
were. It's what they were like born to do.
I think it's a competitive nature as well. When
It
you
is
get, When you
competitive
get to that
nature.
level, you have to be a competitive person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're
yeah.
not going to make it. You want to make the team. You want to win.
You want to be better.
Yeah, you want to be the best out on
Yeah.
the field.
And that's, I mean, I kind of have that mentality. Like I constantly want, like when you see people at the gym and like I see like big dudes like lifting weights and all that. That's why I'm kind of obsessed with the numbers. Is because like I like to see, and people think it's kind of like a joke. Oh, why do you care and all that? But it's like I think that stuff is cool. I think if you can lift a lot of weight, that's cool.
Right.
And like. So when I like want to lift a lot of weight, like I want to, I care what I look like, but like low key that the numbers that you lift, I mean that's something you've accomplished that like not a lot of people do.
But it's more than that. It is
Yeah.
the reward that you have spent so much time planning and preparing for. All these number crunching and watching your diet and planning your meals. I mean, it culminates in 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 being able to lift more weights and beating your max and all that kind of stuff. So it matters. It does matter.
And like I would say that I haven't even been on that type of diet since that time right before summer. And I think like I will do it when I go back this semester because I realize like my schedule is now kind of solidified. But yeah, like I honestly just can't wait to be on that mindset again.
It's good. I applaud your discipline, man. A lot of kids your age absolutely do not have that discipline at all. They have no work ethic and no discipline. So I applaud you for that.
And you were the only one that was working on whatever night nobody wanted to work.
Yeah,
well, I didn't even want to work that night, to be honest.
What night was that? New Year's Eve?
No, it was Christmas Eve.
Well, there was one night it was fucking cold as shit.
Yeah, and I didn't want to work that night either. But it's like so I was watching the Cowboys game and they called me in and I was like, you were scheduled today, and I was like, oh no way. And I remember I was so mad at first, and I had the boss, like big boss, texting me, oh, you're late. And then I had like the secondary boss that's kind of my friend, like blowing up my phone, like, what? Because
he was getting shit.
Yeah, and then like, but he's able to lay into me more, and so he was like, dropping the F-bomb and all this, and I was like, you can't be talking to me like that, because I almost not coming in, but I had to. And I remember I sat in the back, watched the half, and then it was such a good game too. The Cowboys and Eagles, and I haven't watched a game in a fat minute, so I was like, dang.
So what happened when you got to work? I mean, they kind of just like,
it
all right,
was
well, thank
the
God you're
busiest night of the fucking year, and I was so mad in a bad mood. But like, you have to put on the
happy face,
the happy Christmas face.
It's like the Disney thing, right?
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. And so I remember there was a lady that the position that I was at was like this big ice slide thing, and like people come down with tubes and all that. And this lady, like, I was telling her, I was like, you can't film here. You have to get off the platform. And I say it as nice as possible. I'm actually the nicest person that says it. Because, like, other people just say, get off the platform, get off the platform. I was like, hey, can I have you move off the platform and you can film over there? And she called me the Grinch. Because of I don't know why. And I remember I was like, man,
I can tell you exactly why. Because those families were showing out $150. It was unbelievable. The prices of
$150.
Yes.
Yeah, for the VIP tickets for that thing.
That.
No, it was $100, $120 or something like that.
Or you can pay for each event individually.
Well,
$30, $40, $30, $40.
Yeah, so there's a $50
That's why
band.
they called you the Grinch, because they were pissed about shelling out all that money, and it was per kid. If you want to get the VIP pass and you brought 4 kids,
so it'd be like
$800.
It'd be $450 for your kids.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, what? That's Disney World.
And then there's food there,
brother. That's Disney World prices.
Hold on, that included food?
No, so you go there and you buy food. I mean, there's actually the first year that they had beer there, and so like, I think you see a lot of the adults like off edge, because I mean they were like able to drink, and they actually had like a mixed drink bar out there, so they were actually like just
nice.
I can't.
And that should have been all free, by the way.
Yeah, well. It wasn't
$50.
And so that lady, though, I mean, you tell them, get off the platform, please, because you can't film here. And I think I said it to her twice, and she ignored me the first time. And then when she turned back and said like, "Oh, stop being such a Grinch," and I was like, I remember I was like, took everything. That was probably like the worst in my life that I've ever like wanted to just like go talk to somebody and just be like, you know what? Fuck you, and like all this shit. Like, I didn't want to be here right now.
That had gone well.
And I had in my hand, I had the NFL app open, watching the game. Cowboys just threw a pick. It was like, and then this happened. Dude, I almost blew up. That was like top 10 worst
That'd be
moments
like
of my life.
Disney World. Being in Disney World and having Mickey Mouse say, fuck you.
I bet that's happened.
I bet you it
You
has.
know it's happened.
But they can't hear it because they mutter it inside their
big
ass hot costume that they have to wear.
And like I had Cowboys money line, $300 on the game. So like that day also.
That's a different kind of problem.
Well, it's because I had $100 a free play. And then when I was working there, I was like, okay, I'm going to make $120 that I didn't know I was going to make. I'm just going to put on the Cowboys, whatever. So I put on the Cowboys.
Of course, you know why? It's free money.
Because we were down
Let's drop
at
it
the
in
half.
gambling.
And so I was like, screw it, $120 on the Cowboys. And then all this is happening like all at once, where I'm just like mad at this lady. and there's like a huge line, and then it's not people that celebrate Christmas that are there on Christmas Eve. It's people that are Indian. It's it's just people that that don't celebrate Christmas, and you're like, okay, they don't even know like today's like such a big holiday, and like I'm watching a game right now.
You're having to make me work because you don't care.
Yeah, and then
I'm watching a game while I'm working.
and then I get called Grinch.
What would they need
And
someone
you
there
call
like
me- you have to
there you go, Chris, the
Grinch.
slushy,
Yeah.
come down the slide.
Oh my
Is
god,
that what
that
you
was a
need?
horrible Indian accent.
No, there's
Well, you knew it was Indian.
That was more Tunisian.
Because your head was
yeah, I'm telling you.
They, my head was not bobbling. What the hell?
Doing the
dude?
head
That's so
bobble.
racist.
You guys are so racist. By the way, Swedish people
we had a whole
also do
section on a podcast where we watched video of it.
of head bobbing.
Yes.
I have many years of witnessing the head bob. So yes, I can
They make
attest to
fun
that.
of themselves.
What kind of bobbing? Like up and down?
No, be quiet.
Oh.
You know what's crazy? Just one more comment about. So my son was working. Both of my sons were working the ice rink.
Yeah,
Right?
with me probably.
Huh?
I'm usually at the ice rink. That's why.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they were talking about how they felt so bad because after all this money has been spent, right? After all this money has been spent, the kids need this little reindeer thing to lean on because they're so little.
Extra $5.
$8
$8.
$8
bucks?
a
And
piece.
so-
and they need one for all the four kids that are with them, and then
Oh, no.
another, and so the mom's just like looking at them like, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
And like I would never want. I always sent somebody to go do that instead of me because I never wanted to be that guy.
I know. And
And
Dawson had
so-
to do that. He was like, yeah, it's $8 per kid.
But you know, I never charged them per kid. I would always charge $8, and you can get a minimum of 2 per person. So like, and then everybody else would charge them. I remember there was one guy that rented 6, and I went to the guy and I was like, "Did you charge him for every single one?" And he was like, "Yeah, I charged him first." I was like, "Dude," I was like, "You could have just charged him for $8.
Well,
Get him
he's
2.
following the rules.
I know it's following the
But
rules,
yeah, can you
I was
imagine
like,
Highway robbery, man.
$36? No,
Yeah, no,
eight
that's-
times. $48
for 30 minutes
It's
probably.
arithmetic, Paul.
Like, and you know what's crazy? I think that lady that bought the 4, she like, so they went all and they grabbed their skates and all that, and they were getting ready. They started running the Zamboni as soon as she did that. And so the Zamboni was going. I was like, yeah, it's going to be about 10, 15 minutes. And I've never seen a person like turn more red in my life. And I was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. And that's the worst part of the job. I hate being like a customer service guy and like having to like calm down somebody as somebody's yelling in your face.
Customer service sucks, man. Especially when a lot of money's involved. So that's when you're going to get some really pissy people.
Yeah. So there's this dude that was working the carousel, and a little girl was on it, and I guess he didn't go around to check to see if all of them were on the little like horses and everything. So he started it, and this little girl just jumped off and started screaming.
Oh shit!
So then he was like, I need a manager at my thing. Like, this lady's really upset. So I get over there, and she has a good like, it's an Indian
Is she
lady.
hot?
Really?
What?
So she
Any
starts
cleavage.
yelling at me
She's wearing a
like,
thong.
"Oh, this could have been so much worse." She was screaming. She could have gotten hurt. Like, she could have gotten hurt and all that. And like, you just have to sit there and accept it. And like, I'm looking at the guy like, oh, like you could have easily looked around and like made sure everybody was in their thing. But then she goes, "This is not a laughing matter to me." And I just thought like for a second, I was like, well, none of us is even like grinning. I was like, I'm not laughing at all.
You
And
you
then-
have that look though.
Yeah, I guess I do. Like it's also I've lived with that my entire life. By the way, I have that look where it looks like I'm about to just
you
start
have
laughing
You
for
have
some
a
reason.
look to where you're not taking it seriously.
And
Yes.
I've dealt with football because of that. Like football, it sucks because the one thing my coach would always say is, "Murphy, stop smiling.
Yep.
Murphy, stop doing this." Because like,
Yeah, you look like
it
you're
never
fucking
looked
around.
like I didn't want to take it seriously, but I was though. So it's like that's a big thing that pissed me off because like people don't think I'm taking it seriously, but then my face looks like I'm just like, oh, this guy's a jerk off or
Yeah.
something like that.
You have
but-
resting jerk off face.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Resting jerk off face.
But that's not a bad thing,
Oh,
So
my
it's
God.
just it's hard for me to be serious in situations like
Yeah. Customer
Duh.
service is great. I mean, I think we all have different customer service jobs, right? I worked at that
Oh,
movie
I
theater
have.
and I dealt with all sorts of shitty people. Yeah,
I
you
worked,
guys?
I worked in the hotel industry. I worked in retail, restaurants.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it.
I've had my share of shitty ass people, man. They it's not fun. I'm sure you have, Sean.
My
Many
whole life
times.
I have customer service. I mean, my job right now is just. I mean, it's all customer service.
Yeah.
One customer. We all work for
Well,
somebody.
but you work the bar. You work the bar.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you
those are a bunch of douchebags. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, when you're in retail and services, you get it more. I think
You do, because people,
they're having a bad
Yeah, I
day
have-
and they take
I-
it out on you.
I consider the people that I work with my customers, right? My internal customers. But there's a difference between that and being across that counter wanting money and
Yep.
someone's bitching at you.
Yeah.
It's a different mentality, because you may not ever see this person again. So this person's like, I'm gonna fucking make this the most
Miserable.
miserable day of their life.
Yep.
I can confidently say, though, I've never been a dick back. Anybody that's ever been a dick to me in that situation, I've never treated them the same way they've treated me. So
That's good.
I could confidently say that I've never been a dick towards anybody like that.
That
So-
means you
That's
have
tough.
patience. You
I
have
mean,
patience. I like that.
Plus, you got to have respect for your job. I mean, you have to have your integrity, and that's a huge part of not just this job, but the jobs that are coming in after that.
Right.
You got to
like
be able
even
to,
coaches.
Pardon?
Even coaches, when they would be like, "Oh, like why are you laughing? Oh wow, he's really getting it going now."
Oh yeah. Did we even talk about the bourbon? Redwood.
No, we didn't.
Redwood something.
Redwood Empire. It's
Redwood
a
Empire.
Bourbon.
This
one we've
with
done
a
before.
It's the Pipe Dream Bourbon Whiskey, the Sonoma County from California. Mash bill 74, 20% raw rye for malt, 4 years, 12-year-old barrels. Hey, look, it's
bad.
it's
good.
a 7 to 8.
Yeah.
Another one.
It's solid.
It's good. Yeah.
Dudes like us, this second half went pretty fast.
It did go fast. We talked
Happy,
about a lot of cool things.
Happy New Year, guys. I'm looking for lots of fantastic dudes like us stuff.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And our guest just walked away from the mic.
Senior, yeah. And hats off our producer, Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Austin.